Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the show, the NW Sportscast right here. Seahawks against the Rams, Seattle with another loss. I'm not going to talk that long about it. I just want to give some thoughts. Thought number one, the controversial call at the end of the game. I agree with what Mike MacDonald did there. You have to go for it in that scenario because if the Rams score a touchdown, they win, and that's exactly what happened. The criticism that he's faced was, well, why didn't you trust your defense? And I understand that, but also yes, it's annoying that our defense isn't good enough that we can trust them to make a stop. But Mike MacDonald was right to not trust the defense because the Rams marched right down the field and scored a touchdown. If we had kicked the field goal there, the Rams would have still won. So who do we blame on the loss? I mean, there's a lot of places you could blame. You could blame Jason Myers for missing an extra point, right? Because if he makes that extra point, we win 21-20 instead of going to overtime. You can blame it on DK being out, although honestly, I thought our receivers played really well, and we'll get to that in a sec. But I think the key is you blame it on two things. Ryan Grubb play calling on third down and fourth down when we in overtime. Two of the most uninspiring third and fourth down run calls I've ever seen. The Rams picked up on both of them easily and stopped him. But the other thing the game is on is Geno. You can't throw that many. 2 red zone interceptions. It is brutal. And Geno cost us that game. He admitted it as much. People call me a Geno Smith hater. I'm not a Geno Smith hater. I'm a Geno Smith realist. Okay? The number was going around on Twitter. Red zone efficiency. Before 2022, the Seahawks, when Russell Wilson was quarterback, there was only 1 year when the Seahawks were not an above average team in red zone efficiency. Above 16th. Russell Wilson was above 16th every year of his career except for one. I believe it was 2017, the year we missed the playoffs. Past 3 years with Geno Smith, 21st, 26th, 24th. And it's like, yeah, the O-line sucks. I get it. But the O-line also sucked when Russ was quarterback. This isn't new. When Russ was quarterback, it was all his fault. When Geno's quarterback, he gets all the excuses. I don't understand why fans want to suck Geno Smith. They just love him so much. It's not that I hate on Geno, but the idea that he gets all the excuses and that you can never criticize him because he's a perfect player is wrong. He makes mistakes. 11 touchdowns this season and 10 interceptions. And the Seahawks are 4-5. And he's like 20th in passer rating. Yeah, he leads the league in passing yards. If you actually believe that passing yards is the best indicator of how good a quarterback is, I'm sorry, you're living in the Stone Age. You're a dinosaur. People call me a dinosaur because I think that batting average is an important stat in baseball. I'm going to turn it back on you. If you think passing yards is a valuable metric, I'm going to name you 10 stats that are more important than passer yards. Ready? Passer rating. Yards per attempt. Yards per pass. Touchdown to interception ratio. Offensive points per game. Combined, right? First down percentage. How many first downs do you get in a game? Third down percentage. How many third downs do you convert? Red zone efficiency. How good are you in the red zone? How about QBR? I know it's kind of a dumb stat from ESPN, but still, I'd rather look at QBR than passing yards. Did I mention? I haven't even mentioned completion percentage. That's in there. Completion percentage. How about wins? More important than yards is wins. And also, how about the advanced metrics on over on Pro Football Focus, your PFF grade? So there's 12 things that I would rather look at than passing yards. Passing yards, Sam Howell led the league in passing yards for a significant portion of last year. Jameis Winston led the league in passing yards. You don't have to be a good quarterback to lead the league in passing yards. All you need is to be losing a lot, which the Seahawks find themselves losing quite a bit, or be in a bunch of shootouts, and to have an offensive play caller who loves to throw the ball, which the Seahawks do. Ryan Grubb loves to throw the ball. We've dropped back into shotgun the most times out of any team this year. Like, look at this. That was a great play by special teams to force that turnover, to get the ball back at the 19-yard line. You know what Geno Smith did? He wasted that opportunity. Watch. Oh, we're not going to see it yet. But Geno Smith wasted this opportunity. This game, we should have scored right here. We should have scored right here. Look at this. How do you make that throw? That's an unexcusable throw. I don't understand how Geno Smith defenders can excuse that play. It is inexcusable. Oh, he got hit as he was throwing. Throw it away. I'm sorry. Throw it away. Bad throw. Again, I don't think Geno's been bad this year. I think he's been good. I've been very vocally proud of Geno for what he's done this year. But you have to admit when he has a bad game, he has a bad game. That was a bad game. And if you take away two great throws at the end of the first half, which both of them, by the way, came on defensive offsides penalties when the Rams secondary literally gave up. Like, this is the thing. The people who are saying, oh, Geno Smith is great because he has a lot of passing yards, they're being dishonest. They're lying. They know passing yards isn't a good metric to evaluate quarterbacks. They're lying to promote their agenda. And again, similarly, they're going to say Geno had a great game because he threw 3 touchdowns, even though they lost, and he threw 3 picks, including 2 terrible red zone picks. There's a great throw. That was a good throw. The deal is, though, end of the first half, the first touchdown, and then the big play that set up the second touchdown. Both of those plays came on free plays when the Rams secondary thought the play was dead. And that's what the announcers literally said. They said the Rams cornerbacks, their secondary literally gave up on the play. So if his 2 best plays of the game are coming on plays when the secondary of the defense gave up and wasn't even trying to cover the receiver, is he really that good? Or did he just take advantage of 2 bonehead mistakes from the Rams? You take away those 2 plays, he had a bad game, like a really bad game. Because then we don't score any of those points. Then we lose 20-7 in regulation. And that's a really bad game. Again, I'm not saying he's terrible. He had a bad game, though. You have to admit when he plays bad. And you cannot think that this is really the future. Really, Geno Smith's not the future of this team. He's not. Like, he can't beat the Rams. He can't beat the 49ers. He's a passing yards merchant. It's a great story. He's a great guy. He's a great dude. He takes ownership of his mistakes. He's a good leader. But he's 34, and he is average. The best he can do is a wild card. What's his record as a Seahawks quarterback? What's his record? 9-8. Last year he was 8-7, so do the math there. 17-15, right? 4-5 this year, so 21-20, and he was 1-2 in 2021. So he is, as the quarterback for the Seahawks, he's 22-22, and he's 0-1 in the playoffs. He's average. He is as average as you can be as a quarterback. I'm sorry. It's the truth. He's not the future. You're not going to pay him. You're not going to extend him. You can't extend him. Extending Geno at this point would be a massive failure. He has a couple more years. Draft a quarterback. Let him sit for a year behind Geno. That's what I'd do. I would draft somebody in the first round and give him a year to sit behind Geno, and then give him a year to play with Geno as his backup. And then when Geno's contract expires, then you're fully committed to your new quarterback. And that's it. That's it. That's my take.